Hello, beautiful people. Top of the morning. Well, not top of the morning for me, but I'm recording this. It's probably like 7, but I've been up since, I know it's 8 now, but I've been up since 6. I washed a bunch of clothes and put them on the line. So I'm about to have a bath and then head on the road. I think I might go check Dr. Elliott. I just needed to take a little break. But I also feel like it wasn't just a break. I don't feel like what we were spending the donation money on was wrong. I just feel like God doesn't want us to spend all the donation money on like food and bags, and like the emergency kits that we were sending out were amazing, especially during like that first 2 weeks when like we moved really quickly. So when people couldn't get to the store, like the immediate devastation, those were perfect. But now shops are open, ATMs are opening up, but the amount of homeless people and then the amount of money everybody has to generate in order to start to rebuild, like some people can't. So there's a homeless crisis. Now, supposedly there's supposed to be some flooding and sickness. I can already see, remember I told you I work with the doctor, so I already know there's pure sickness. I got sick, but it wasn't anything serious, but I did have a fever, but it wasn't anything really bad. When I know there's people getting lit down bad, like they have to go to the doctor or the hospital because of like flu symptoms and like the sick feeling, which is coming from the dirty water. So, Page of Wands, good news, but we'll get to that. So yeah, I just feel like with the rest of the money, we generated 11 grand Canadian, a little over 11 grand Canadian. We spent probably 5 grand of it doing the emergency kits, paid about almost 2 grand to the doc, and all the trap hauling. I spent about almost 2,000 on those blue tarps. Remember I told you guys I stopped doing the emergency kits and we just started giving out trap hauling because people were just, they were like people who had their house still, but the roof was gone. All their belongings just kept getting wet every day that it rained. They couldn't sleep on anything dry. People are still complaining about not being able to sleep on anything dry, and that's getting them sick. So we just started handing out trap hauling. So we still have more than half of the donation money left. I'd say just about half. I have all the receipts for everything. The doctor said he's going to give me like a receipt, taxable receipt or whatever. But I have receipts for everything. I made sure to keep them because I'm not sure how the taxes are going to go. Like, I'm not sure. So I just made sure to keep every receipt, which I'm usually not really good at. Not to say I'm not good at it, I'm just careless towards. Like, accountant always is like, did you keep receipts? And I'm like, I ain't got shit. Like, this time I have, because we generated quite a bit of money. So thank you to everybody who donated. Whether you donated, whether you prayed, because we talked about the power of prayer, whether you, however you supported this, even just within your heart space, and had some emotional availability and compassion for what people were going through over here. Thank you. Okay. And for myself, you're the genuine concern. You guys are so adorable. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Okay. But anyways, let's get into these messages. I feel like I even shared some of that with you because some of you guys could be focused on finances, allocating finances, budgeting. Some of you guys do that for a living. Some of you guys went through something and it made you like realize you have to learn or inherit these skills of budgeting and things like that. Some of you guys came into your own lump sum of money, even if it had nothing to do with a charity. It could have been some kind of back payment. It could have been some kind of refund. I'm not really sure, but you're trying to be really strategic with this lump sum of money, where maybe before you were kind of frivolous with the upstream, like when the flow of money started to pour in, you would become frivolous with it, which is very Knight of Wands energy, blowing through the cash, where when you graduate to the King, you become very strategic about output of financial resources, energy, but also the input. What kind of energetic exchange is worth it and is not? So I just feel like some of you guys are getting really strategic with cash. That could affect some people around you. Some of you guys are preparing for a child. So you know that you're going to have a child. You've just found out, and you're getting really, all of a sudden your focus, the way you look at finances is changing. This could be a first child. For some of you, it doesn't have to be. For some of you, if it isn't your first child, there's some kind of gap because you're different. There's a significant maturity increase going from the Knight of Wands to the King. I keep seeing the Knight of Wands and the King, but it's actually the Page of Wands that we got, which will break down what that was about. But yeah, let's get into prayer and see what else. Creator God, Prime Source, Ancestors, Guides, Guardian Angels, thank you for rising me up out of my bed this morning, and thank you for connecting me with the collective every day. Right now, please allow me to communicate clearly with the collective, all the messages that are in our greatest good, surrounding our material abundance, sustenance, the relationships closest to us, our personal ascension and development, and any other messages that you deem worthy at this time. Thank you, Creator God, Prime Source, Ancestors, Guides, Guardian Angels, for everything you do for me and the collective on a regular. All the healing energy, the support, the love, the guidance, and the protection. We are nothing without it, and we are nothing without you. So glory be to the Most High, forever and ever. Amen. Okay, this is what I was trying to tell you. Some of you guys are about to start getting good news pertaining. This is your awareness surrounding a tower that you experienced. Many of you guys didn't go through a natural disaster, but you've went through this whole tearing down and having to start over and having to mourn what was and embrace what can be or shall be. This is the good news. This is the tower starting to tell you, I told you so. See the Page of Wands? Page of Wands speaks of good news, inspiration. This could also be a tower moment that completely inspired somebody to take an action that they never would have if the tower didn't happen. Again, divinely guided. This is the universe showing you why the tower was necessary. Hold on a second. Okay guys, sorry, I was running my bath and I could hear the water overflowing in the bucket. Sorry, it's heavy as fuck. Okay. Then we have the Six of Wands here. We keep getting the Six of Wands in reverse. The Tower is also forcing somebody to acknowledge something that they didn't. Something that they refused to acknowledge, not just externally, but internally. It could be feelings, it could be a reality, it could be anything. But the Tower is forcing somebody to have to acknowledge something that they tried to avoid. I also feel like somebody that spoke incorrectly about someone, the Tower is forcing somebody to be accountable for how they misspoke about an individual. something about whatever the tower revealed that what somebody said about somebody wasn't true. Okay, then we've got the Five of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, for some of you, you took accountability for something, and that somebody then took that as an opportunity to not be accountable and put all the blame on you. The tower strikes and it actually reveals what somebody wasn't trying to be accountable for. Somebody tried to push all of the blame on the accountable person. You see, they admitted it. You see, they said this. Meanwhile, they're still refusing to be accountable themselves. The tower comes in and forces somebody to be accountable because they cannot hide. So this could be somebody who blamed you or was projecting onto you. Look at what they did. And it could be true. You could have done it. You could even have been accountable for it. But somebody is using that as an opportunity to project their own lack of accountability with the Six of Wands in reverse. Somehow they're going to be held accountable, and it's not by you. It looks like the universe, through divine intervention, puts somebody in a position that they judge somebody for being in. And now the universe is going to go, can you be accountable? Can you apologize? Do you have the strength to be able to look within yourself, stand in the truth, and be accountable? And I don't know if this person does with the Six of Wands in reverse and the Five of Cups. I don't know. And if they can't be, what will happen is their shadow will be completely revealed. How petty, insecure, manipulative, all of that. When people are not accountable, it actually, when the universe comes in like this, it reveals everything about their shadow. It's like the universe telling them, you didn't have to be accountable. You didn't have to choose to let this part live. See, that's the thing. A lot of us chose for our higher self to live, but it doesn't change the fact that our lower vibrational self will hijack the show and lead the way whenever it feels like it. So people who are accountable will integrate their light and balance this energy out. People who are not accountable will run from this only to run into their own inner hell, meaning everything around them, including the people, will reflect the toxic traits within themselves that they avoid. So when I'm in toxic environments, I have to look within myself. What is being reflected in me around these people, around this environment? I can blame the whole environment, or I can look within and say, why am I an energetic vibrational match? Or what is this environment meant to teach me? A lot of people will judge everything in their environment and not see why they're an energetic vibrational match, why out of any environment, this is the one that they're in. So I'm seeing people taking accountability and then karmically being tested with that. So this is the devil attacking somebody for being accountable to try to convince them to not be accountable, only for them to steadfast, stay accountable, and then be recognized by the universe. So there's no, you see, some of you guys were trying to get validation from people and you weren't getting it. You validated yourself. You didn't backpedal. You stayed firm and true, and the universe comes in and validates you, and nobody can trump the universe. When the universe validates you, there's nothing anybody can do or say. And that's what I see with the tower happening here. This is some kind of validation collective after a period of being karmically tested to change, to release this, to abandon this. Accountability is authenticity. Accountability is one of the ultimate expressions of true self-love and true authenticity. which is why people are so unaccountable, because they're not authentic enough to be. Collective, your apologies, your accountability makes other people very uncomfortable. And the reason why they reject it is because they themselves are unable to be as accountable. Don't be afraid of apologizing. Don't be afraid, because a lot of people don't have the courage to do it, because they create personifications of themselves that go against what they're being accountable for. They do not live in their authenticity. So many of you are expecting apologies or accountability from people you're not going to get it from. Some of you thought, I'm going to, apologize, and then this person, no, they're not. They are not accountable because they are not authentic enough to be accountable. So you have a choice, collective. Are you going to abandon your authenticity to match someone's low vibration? Or are you going to stay in your high vibration and do better because you know better? I told you, when you seek forgiveness or apologize to people, it's not for them. It's for your own redemption of your soul. They do not have to accept it. They do not. But God might put them in a position that they are going to want the same apology, or they're going to want the same forgiveness that they rejected to give to someone else, that they refuse to give someone else. It's very quick how God will put that same person in the position to want the forgiveness for doing the same thing. So guys, this is a very powerful time. You can reject the projections, you can look at them, you can take the opportunities to grow and ascend, or you can match people at where they're at. But where they're at might not be where you're going, so be careful with that. Can we clarify this page of wands? 7 of coins. Okay, so that's good news about some kind of investment you've made. Then there's, you've been watching this, not knowing what's going on. You've been in the dark about something. And I think this page of swords is you being in the dark about something, looking for something, but not being able to see it. And then here with this page of wands, this is finally being able to see what it is you were looking for. Like, not just see, sorry, like it's in the physical, it's in the tangible. You're not looking for it because something's materialized now and you're like, oh. I'm also seeing these are two people who don't know each other. That's why they're in the page form. They don't know each other. Yeah, I see somebody judging you for apologizing, and and this keeps coming in because I think that you needed to see this about somebody. Your apology, you apologize to someone and it reveals to you how immature, unauthentic, and unaccountable that individual is. Because of how they respond or don't respond. They are unable to be accountable. So I see some of you taking accountability and them being like, yeah, it's them. See? Yeah, no. The universe is going to come in and make them heavily accountable, possibly having somebody call them out on what you tried to tell them about themselves. And because for some of you, somebody didn't like what you said to them, but it was the truth. Somebody thought that you would be blindly loyal to them, and they have you misread. Somebody doesn't understand you're loyal to consciousness, you're loyal to the truth, you're loyal to what makes sense, right? Which is why you're accountable. So when you do something that doesn't make sense, you're accountable for it because you're loyal to what makes sense. Some people are not loyal to it. Let's see what else though. The Fool. Oh my God, the Fool. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. Some of you guys, that the universe prompted you to be the bigger person or seek for some kind of like healing only to be rejected and met with some like bad energy, and you're going to the universe, why would I do that? It's because of energetically where it puts you. I told you it's not about them. This is going to skyrocket you energetically and leave the toxicity to eat away at itself. Somehow you were involved, you were an energetic vibrational match to something toxic. You pick healing, you pick the truth, you pick accountability, and it makes you no longer an energetic vibrational match to whatever this is. Now you're going to watch from here what this is, and it's going to literally eat away at each other. Somehow something was trying to make you the sacrificial goat, like project the issue onto you. This could be like even a toxic family that doesn't deal with their issues, that constantly projects their issues on an individual who's new to the group or in the environment or to the family. So it's the scapegoat energy, right? A group of people can no longer be accountable because we're blaming all the issues on one individual. What happens when that one individual refuses to take that? And when I say refuse to take, it doesn't mean yell, scream, cuss, doesn't mean none of that. You taking accountability made you above the bullshit. You do not function. One of the biggest issues in some of your environments is the lack of accountability. The minute you take accountability in the high road, you're no longer an energetic vibrational match. Watch how these people eat each other alive. Because the issue was always with them. It was never with you. There was something about that environment that needed to show you something about yourself. You got it, you saw it, and then you move on energetically, physically, whatever. Whether this is relationships, environments, whether workplace environments, where you live, it doesn't matter. It's all the same shit. So yeah, I honestly think you guys did the right thing. Some of you guys just I feel like for some of you, the devil wants you to regret taking the high road or doing the right thing, and you need to stay steadfast. You did the right thing. You were accountable. You weren't the bigger person. You were the conscious person. Because some of you guys are energetic vibrational matches to people who aren't conscious because there was something you needed to be more conscious aware about yourself. What triggers you, what you feel comfortable with, how you engage with people. A lot of people are simply on a karmic cycle because religion taught them that they have to look at people as being good or bad and not accept that everybody has good and bad in them, whether you want to deal with them or not. So when you decide somebody's a bad person, you're going to treat them poorly when they don't deserve it, and you're going to receive bad karma for that. If you tell yourself somebody's a good person, you're going to treat them like they're this good, great person. And then when they show you the other side, you're going to regret all the good that you saw in them and gave to them. So a lot of people are on this karmic loop just off of the sheer fact that they quantify people this way and don't integrate. That's why we talk about integration so much, because we get so much liberation, growth, and expansion from integration alone. Most of my work that I offer to clients is to help them to integrate. It could be become aware and then integrate, or help integrate what the individual has become aware of. Sometimes it is to trigger awareness. A lot of the times it's to really validate. People want validation for what their inner self already knows. And then they hear me say it or allude to it, and they're like, it gives them the validation to believe themselves. So that's really the work I be doing out here. I think some of you guys are considering getting a personal reading. You can absolutely do that. As you can see, I'm starting to post again in things because I have my data plan. I have access to many internet starlinks. So I think I might even try to go live. The thing is the other place where I have the place that I like to go the most with the Starlink, it can just be a little bit loud. That's the only thing. But I'm most comfortable reading there in public, because if it's in public, I'm not comfortable reading everywhere. Because just inherently, I'll tap into the energies of the people around me. I've actually gotten a lot better with that. like honing in and focusing the energy on the individual regardless of the surroundings, but it's still harder than if I even just lock myself in my car. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, let's see what else. What's this fool about? Somebody's going to take a leap of faith to reach out to somebody. Yeah, the devil. And the moon. And the Knight of Cups. Yeah, see, somebody is going to take a leap of faith to reveal something that's hidden. Yeah. Or I feel like you do something and it inherently, it's funny. The divine triggered you to do something knowing that it would reveal something the devil wanted to keep hidden. But you didn't know, you were a fool to it. You're just like, all right, I'm going to do this. Yeah, some of you guys need to not beat yourself up. You were divinely guided to express yourself. Some of you guys are regretting expressing yourself, or like, oh, I shouldn't have done that or said that. No. As long as you were authentic to yourself, you were divinely guided to that. Like the universe kind of triggered you knowing that you would do that and knowing the effect it would cause. They wanted this. It's part of the tower. Collective, don't let anybody make you a scapegoat. Because some of you guys are like, you feel like you have to defend yourself. I didn't do this, or I did this. This is the scam. This is the scam. It's actually the opposite. You don't have anything to prove. It speaks for itself. I see that there are energies around you that are trying to make you a scapegoat. It could even be your own family. I don't know, but there are people that are trying to make you the problem so that they can avoid the issues they have within themselves and within the connections they already had, possibly before you were around. So you could have started dating somebody, collective, okay? Or this could be in the workplace. You started in a new workplace and these people are trying to make you the problem. Meanwhile, they had issues in this department long before you got there. And there were issues in this family and these people would fucking do each other in, lie and talk shit about each other long before you ever hit the scene. But you didn't know that. So you're being gaslit into believing you're the problem because you're seeing all this conflict. You're thinking, is this me? It's not you. It is not you. Okay, so don't make yourself more relevant than you are. And what helps is taking accountability for what you do feel and then leaving the rest. Do not take accountability for anything you do not feel you need to. You have to back yourself up. So if you said a tough truth to somebody and they didn't like it, do not apologize for that. If you lashed out on somebody because of your own disposition and what you're going through and your own defensive nature, you can apologize for that. Do you see the difference? Do not allow yourself to be a sacrificial lamb so that people can avoid looking at their own issues. Okay? And the issues with the people that they actually cohabitate, work, live, and have familial ties with. Okay? Really, really important. Don't take on more than you deserve to take on. And accountability makes sure of that. Your accountability protects you so that you do not bear burden other people's bullshit, problems, toxicities, lies, manipulations. No. And the consequences of that. Do not bear all of that. Your accountability will protect you because your accountability will say, this is me, but this is all that's me here. And I was accountable for it. And I worked to rectify it. And I apologize for it. But that's as far as that's going to go. Right. Yeah. Because for some of you, you were accountable and apologized, and you're going to have somebody try to make you more. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So some of you might have to put somebody in their place because they don't get it. Their inability to take accountability is getting them to demonize. They're the problem. They're this. And it's all a projection of their own lack of accountability. And I don't blame. A lot of people aren't accountable because look what happens. They're accountable and then they get gaslit to take on the whole burden of everything. Not me. Oh, no. I'm skilled in accountability. I will take accountability and I'll leave it right there. And I'll leave everything else on the motherfucking ground. I will not take up the accountability for no grown-ass adult. Absolutely not. I will be accountable for myself. I will apologize for that, but that's as far as that's going to go. Okay? Yeah. Whatever issues, pre-existing issues people have, they're going to have to do the inner soul work I had to do to work on my own pre-existing issues that I had long before I was anywhere with anyone. That's accountability. Understanding you have a bag of burdens that as long as you're accountable for will not weigh heavy on any individual that you choose to come into union with, whether romantically, platonically, in a career sense. Okay? So accountability is it's not about how it makes you look. It's about how it allows you to live. It's about what it heals and it's about what it protects within the individual. Accountability is in this is Seven of Wands energy. Let's see what else. Yeah. Then we've got the Hierophant, the Hermit, and the Two of Swords in reverse. I feel like somebody's come to a conclusion and they're about to you see somebody's stepping into their purpose here. You see that? They're putting on their... So this is when you strip your ego, and this isn't a persona now. But you see how your ego doesn't ever die. This is the Hermit. In its fancy clothes, doing its work. And when it goes back to its quarters, whether male or female, this is how they like to dress. It's the same individual. Just in different energies. Some of you guys are getting back on the workforce. That's been coming in a lot. Getting back into mission. Finding mission. Earning this cloak and understanding what it means and then stepping in. When you go from this to this, you've integrated. Imagine the shirt, the hat, everything was a part of your authentic nature, your royalty, your consciousness that you integrated into who you are. This is how you present now. This is what your ego looks like. It's completely authentic to who you are. But it's the outward persona. Because anybody who catches the Hierophant at its house is looking at the Hermit. Even if they have family, partner, everything, they're still the Hermit. You still go and ask the spouse and the children of the Hermit, you know, where's collective? You know, they're probably in their little den somewhere. You know, they're probably in the car. This is also being able to be yourself, loved for all the qualities of you. This is also realizing that your personality could also be balanced in introvert and extrovert. So instead of looking at yourself as one or the other, you honor that you're both. The parts of you that are introverted and the parts of you that are extrovert, and stop trying to pick between the two. Just honor when you're feeling either one or the other. 333 on the clock, 3333 on the clock. That's a 12. I feel like 12's coming in because 12 speaks of the end of a karmic cycle. Because the reason why people see zodiac as being evil is because of how it was manipulated. No different than the Bible was manipulated to be a means of control, but so was the zodiacs, because there's really 13. Right? The 13th one speaks of, it's the serpent. It speaks of the shedding, the liberation, the freedom. So it's like they took that part off so that there's just this constant loop. But we broke that when we integrated all the zodiac signs. We broke that spell, collective. That's why people were telling me, oh, why don't you do the zodiac signs again? I had to honor. I could not go back and do that. It felt wrong. It felt evil. And it's not that the zodiac signs are evil. No. It's the loop. It's the quantifying yourself and identifying with one aspect of you and not the rest of you. And the karmic loop that comes from that. Your sun sign, the way the zodiac is set up right now, your sun sign is what you're karmically stuck in. That's what it mirrors. What you're karmically stuck in. That's what these 12 zodiac signs represent right now. If you're a Cancer, you're karmically in a loop of overgiving, of not having the connections that you seek, constantly yearning, mother issues, constant issues in home, right? And I still struggle with some of that because I have to focus more on the 13th sign. But that's just part of the process. It took years to integrate every zodiac sign into my personality, into my existence, into my outlook on life and myself. It took years collective of us doing that, right? And now we're going to integrate the 13th sign. I can't say it right. Officiosos. I don't know. In the comments, thanks. You guys can start a whole conversation on Discord or in the comments about this, but the 13th sign, we are there collective. I've always heard about the 13th sign, but what the fuck do I care if we haven't got to the 13th sign yet? Like, we're not there. So we're there, energetically collective. And ironically enough, we've always passed the 13th sign. So it's not to say you've never reached it collective, or you haven't worked with it, or you haven't experienced liberation and broke through certain karmic cycles. You absolutely have. But there's this loop that is opening up. There's a loop opening up. And it's opening because it's not connected anymore. There's a break in the connection. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, I was gone for a second. Somebody is trying to exert their dominance over someone in the most petty, pathetic ways. They're trying to pretend that that's not what they're doing, but it is what they're doing with the moon and the devil. Seven of Cups. Yeah, you see, someone is about, I don't know how else to cut this down, but this is, I try to tell you guys, the energy you put out, you get back. And I know you believe me because you've seen it for yourself. You have your own connection to the Creator, Prime Source, Most High in the universe, and know how this shit works at this point. But there is somebody in your energy that you really have to let go. You have to let something go. You have to pull back your energy without removing yourself. I think some of you guys are being karmically challenged to pull back with the Hermit and the Hierophant. You're being asked to pull back your energy without removing yourself. Where most of you would have to remove yourself in order to pull back your energy. So if this is in the workplace, you're not going to quit your job. You're going to pull back your energy. You're going to take accountability for yourself, and you ain't going to go any further than that. You're going to stay in your little sacred bubble of accountability, authenticity, and truth. Okay? And you're not going to let, these are all the projections. See all the people's projections? Yeah, you're the problem, but they're not looking at their own issues. What happens is when this person comes out of there and they're just alone in the pit, they tear each other apart. But you're being karmically challenged to pull back your energy without moving, by staying in there. And that's exactly what happened to David, because David came out with all of these lines. I believe they first were going to attack him or her. When they realized that couldn't happen, they went to attack each other. And when they realized this individual wasn't going to allow it, the attacking and the bullshit stopped. And they came out as one. King of Swords. Oh, that felt so good. Oh my God, that felt so good. That is a sound mind. For those of you, do you see that? This is somebody who knows that you are not wrong. That's why you have to stand firm. Do not take accountability for any more than your part. Because look at them. Look at them. And somebody of great power and authority, somebody who is respected, they see that and they know that these people were dysfunctional long before you fucking got there. They know more than you know. And they're just somebody could have been watching, look at the page, somebody watched to see if you would figure something out. And now they realize you have, and now they're in the king energy. This could be somebody willing to defend you, back you up, speak on behalf of you, take accountability. Some of you guys are going to be shocked at who takes accountability. Because you've demonized them as being like a narcissist, or they're this and that, all this shit. And they're going to come and be like, you're fucking right, man. I apologize. They themselves are not going to take accountability for more than what they should either. Okay, so yeah, there's that. But this is somebody going like, yeah. And I see you being in a defensive energy, and this energy sees that, and I just feel like they understand why. But you're in the process of being gaslit to not trust yourself and say, I know that this isn't just me. Because some of you guys are trying to blame just yourself. You're either blaming everyone around you and not taking accountability, or you're blaming yourself and becoming like this energetic scapegoat to the people around you, maybe in order to fit in or not be rejected or attacked. I don't know. Either way, this is coming to a fucking middle point now. This is either somebody taking accountability, or this is somebody releasing the accountability that isn't fucking theirs, taking their own and removing themselves from the fucking bullshit, or standing up to it somehow. But this is not being gaslit into the bullshit. The Empress, wow. And then the Knight of Swords. Do you see that? The King of Swords is watching the Knight of Swords go up against the Empress. Do you see what I'm saying? The Knight of Swords can't see the King of Swords behind the Empress, but the King of Swords is behind the Empress. The Empress might not even know the King of Swords is behind them. 5%, phone's about to die. Perfect timing, I gotta bathe and go. But yeah. High Priestess. I don't know. Your intuition is being challenged right now. Some of you guys feel vulnerable. You feel attacked. Some of you guys, your intuition is being pulled because romantically you don't know which way to go. You don't know if you should open your heart to somebody or not. You want to, but you're terrified. I just feel like collective, some of you guys, the Empress can get a lot of nasty energy from masculines until the Emperor, the Hierophant, comes into union with them. Mind you, the Empress, whether male or female, will protect themselves, but there's some kind of, like, look at this is somebody who feels no way to go up against the Empress. Yeah, that's until they see the King of Swords, who's really the Hierophant, ready to go. This is the Hierophant in its street clothes. This is the Hierophant in its house clothes. This is the Hierophant in its work clothes. But this is the Hierophant in its street clothes. Okay? For some of you, you could have had, like, for some of you, it's in the workplace. There was a man who, like, tried to pick on you, bully you, disrespect you, attack you, come up against you in some way. You never did nothing. This is a a very weak-natured man. I don't care what they look like on the outside. Some of you have a partner, but they didn't know that. Somebody assumed you were single foolishly. It's like some kind of work event comes and your partner's there, and this person is like a different person towards you. It's because they feel this energy. They know they're dealing with someone energetically more dominant than them. This is also a masculine that feels no type of way about like beefing or having some kind of altercation with a female. And there is a masculine. I don't know if this masculine is connected to this female or not. That will really fucking hurt this Knight of Swords. Because I don't see the Empress still. The Empress doesn't have a weapon. The Empress is not positioned to do this person anything. So this, again, is somebody going up against somebody who is not doing anything to them. There are fucking consequences to that, brother. Serious consequences. And the King of Swords is going to be the one to show you that. Somebody should have picked somebody else to bully. Do you see that? Do you see that? Told you. I fucking told you. Told you so, Ace of Swords. You know that's the truth. Gang, gang. Anyways, I love you guys. Until the next time. Ciao.